All right, so if we look back at this inverted pyramid, this is where we're going to throw our concrete example in to show you something. And this example comes from a year ago when we taught a weapons study class at a co-op. At the end of the Lessman assessment, if we are teaching 3 or less children, we're going to use 2 or 3 questions from the first and second tiers of the inverted pyramid. And that's going to be the first and the second tiers, right? That's the most newsworthy. So in our weapons study class, and remember, the inverted pyramid comes from a single subject. So our entire domain was weapons study. But one of our single class subjects was Hannibal, the general from Carpathia. And we would use questions like, about Hannibal. The most newsworthy information would have been that he was a military general. He was from Carpathia. He was 26 years old, and he drove elephants over the Alps to conquer the Roman Empire. The second tier would have been the important details. And the important detail in our class was the double envelopment strategy. If we're teaching 3 or more children, when we're using evaluative questions assessments, we would look at the third tier to pepper in more questions. And this is not necessarily the major thing I wanted the kids to know, but it's a good way to, if I have a lot of kids, to just really be able to ask everyone a fair amount of questions. And for our weapons study class, specifically Hannibal's lesson, we would have asked questions about what weapons that the Carpathians used, specifically Hannibal soldiers. The strategy that he used with the elephants, was it good or bad? We talked about the soldiers' diet and how it was vastly different to some other generals that we studied. And we would just throw in a bunch of other fun facts to see what they remembered. And again, this method really keeps the kids thinking about everything they've learned. The inverted pyramid is used with the spiral approach because we are constantly reviewing with what we've learned and comparing it to what we already knew. We're developing that schema. We're layering that cake. Do you see the method to our madness here? With regards to tell them what we've told them and tell them what we told them again and then tell them again and again and again and again, we want to reward. Now, incentives we use with pop quizzes, the beginning or the end. And you have to decide what's right for your family. But remember, reward immediately, whether it's with a cumulative reward or an immediate reward. What is the cumulative reward? Kind of where you're keeping a chart, or maybe they're collecting pieces to a puzzle. I've seen a lot of teachers use little tickets that they get, and they hand out tickets. So those are cumulative awards, and after you have so many tickets, there's so many stickers, you get the big reward at the end. Or an immediate reward, which would have been anything you can come up with. It could be candy. I don't really recommend that one, but it could be. A gift card, in small amounts. With our older one, we like to use a coffee gift card because that's one of her favorite things, to go out with her girlfriends and get coffee. Remember to keep a chart so that they can actually visually see. It doesn't matter how old they are. They need to visually see that they are being rewarded for something. They may act like they don't care when they're in high school, but they really do. They do like to work for this kind of stuff. Some other rewards you could use are TV time or sleep in time or electronic time of some kind. If you use it as a reward, it's not going to overtake your life.